Yeah, so that was annoying. What's up, Mad? What's up, love? Sorry about that, guys. Give everyone else a minute to get here. Oh, there's a bit of delay. Hold on. Let me see if I can lower the latency. Why isn't it letting me adjust it? That's annoying. All right, so we're going to have a little bit of a delay. Okay, guys. All right, so apparently, according to Eric Doherty, there is a new poll that came out that said that Trump has a 98% approval rating with MAGA. Yeah, I guess I missed the headline in the news where Larry Ellison bought Fox. I don't know. I didn't get that memo. I don't know how Trump could possibly have a 98% approval rating, but that's what they're saying. Hold on, let's see. Here it is. Look at him. Breaking news. Overwhelming poll just dropped, finding President Trump's MAGA Republican approval rating at 98%, just 2% disapproving. Massive support from the base. Democrats keep thinking MAGA will abandon Trump. It's not happening. Yo, I don't, like, where did they get the balls? Eric Doherty's balls are, I guess they're as big as Hillary Clinton's. Yo, how many of you hit a 1 in the chat if you were with me today watching that deposition? Yo, we put in work today. Mad was like doing real world shit. They weren't around with us while we were putting in the work. But we had 5 hours of streaming, which means if we make it another 3, that's a full 8-hour day. That's like the longest that I've ever gone without like getting hacked or cut off or anything. All right, now let's see. Let's have some fun. I do have some more bad news though. So on top of the technical difficulties that I had trying to get the stream going, and as I was telling Mad, that was actually because I set it up from my meeting from my phone. And apparently with YouTube, because I set it up from my phone, it was like set to mobile. So when I got home and got to my computer, it was having trouble with the connecting to the stream. So I was like, oh my God. I'm not the most technical savvy person, as you guys know. So I just had to make a new one. But one thing that does suck is when I came back, I had all these clips on X that I wanted us to go over. And when I came back, they were all reset. I don't know if it's because I left the computer for too long or what. But I come back, and instead of all the clips that I wanted to go over, I come back to this bullshit saying President Trump has a 98% approval rating. So, not good. And then this. Did you guys see this? You guys see this one yet? The Marine that got taken down because he said what he said. Hold on, let me fill the screen up a little bit. Play this clip.
The inability to name that shows their weakness as leaders. This is wrong. No. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
A reminder, you all are.
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America.
Oh, look at his hand. They're crushing his hand.
Wants to fight for Israel.
Oh my God.
No one wants to fight.
This is so sad. Oh, this is so sad. They broke his hand, it looks like. Oh my God. It's so sad. And this is the reality, because when you sign up for the military, you're basically signing your life away to the government. you know, and that's why these elections are supposed to be important. Like, we voted for no war. We voted for no war. So what is this gentleman a part of the 2%? Or are they going to say that he's a Democrat? This is another his broken hand is a Democrat hoax? Is that what they're going to tell us? You know, it's just messed up. It's just messed up. Very disappointing. Oh, we got the tracker. Don Bacon, 1.2 million and change. Anyone care what he has to say? Not me. Oh, Tulsi Gabbard turns on Trump.
That's exactly what Trump did. He conducted and committed an act of war without congressional authority, seriously escalating the situation with Iran. And so now we're at a point of it's not a matter of, well, are we going to have a war with Iran? We are in a war with Iran right now. So the real issue is, are we going to allow this war to continue to escalate? And if so, for how long? And to achieve what objective?
Trump got into bed with God's chosen people, and now he's getting absolutely fucked, okay? Trump's going to get raked over the coals by these people.
All right, I love Ryan Mata, but I did not see this clip, and I do not know what he says. So I got to be a little careful. I might have to play the rest of this one later. I'm not trying to get Valhalla, if you know what I mean. Shout out to Valhalla. YouTube has really, really been messing with him lately. Oh, what is this? James Lee, another person who got shut down from YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Been reportedly spying on the Trump administration in order to sabotage diplomacy and any talks of a ceasefire. There is deeply disturbing and embarrassing development as it becomes abundantly clear that a rogue client state has completely overtaken the host. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised by this? Yes, Valhalla got banned again for like the second or third time in less than 2 weeks. This was Tuesday. But he did his show last night. It was a great show. I only caught the first half of it. He started it on YouTube. I think he was on YouTube and Rumble in the beginning, and then he just switched over to do Rumble. Yo, seriously, if I hope none of you are still like, you know, because I know a couple people kind of turned on Valhalla after that whole Candace Owens, Mitch Snow thing. And if that's the case, I mean, I'm not ever going to tell anybody who to like or who to follow. I just hope you keep an open mind. And if you decide that you're not going to watch Valhalla, do it because of your own opinions, not because of, you know, what you think the mood is or how someone else feels about them. Because I'll tell you this right now. Out of everybody in this space, he has been one of the realest ones. He has been one of the realest ones. He calls it like he sees it. And he's not just sticking to the algorithm. You see, like the way YouTube is, and from my experience with YouTube, is they want you to find a niche. They want you to like ride the algorithm. Like you post a couple different videos and then you find what takes off. And then the whole thing is that's where you stay. And, you know, one of the things I'm noticing is this whole Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk thing, it is hot with the algorithm. It's hot with the algorithm, especially you throw Candace in the mix. It's like, boom, it's like guaranteed views, guaranteed money. So what's happening is a lot of these influencers, they're just sticking with the case because that's where the money is. Like, why not? You're guaranteed followers. You're guaranteed to get a bunch of views. You're not going to get taken down as long as you're not too tough. It's because of the war, the files. You know, I honestly, at this point, I'm almost starting to feel like this whole Charlie Kirk investigation, it's like QAnon 2.0. It's like QAnon 2.0. And the way that all these different theories are coming out, it's like, was it the mic? Was it this? Was it, you know, is he dead? Is he alive? Did they kill him? Was it this one? Was it that one? And then I've been analyzing this case since day one, and there are just so many anomalies. Like, you guys, how many of you hit a 1 in the chat if you were following this case from the beginning? Has anybody been following this case from like the beginning? Like I'm talking September, like when it first happened. or October. Oh, shit, I forgot. I'm on a freaking... I like doing the ultra low latency because there's like no delay. Now I got this like 20-second delay. So when I ask you guys something, I got to like sit here for like 10, 15 seconds waiting for you to respond. I'm sorry. This will be the last time that I don't double check and make that mistake. Okay. Now, I followed this case from day one. So I remember all the steps and all the different like chapters in the investigation. So in the very beginning, we all saw the hand signals. We all saw the hat, the signals, them taking the SD cards out. Like that was all very early on. Originally, when we established that it probably wasn't a 30-06, I thought that the bullet came and hit him. I thought it came from the back right, hit him in the back of the skull, and then it would have made sense to some degree, or more sense than the shot coming from the front, that the bullet fragmented, went down the spine, and that a fragment came out the neck. Because the neck wound was way more consistent with an exit wound than an entry wound. The way that the blood squirted and whatnot, it wouldn't have happened like that. Had it been an entry wound, it would have just kind of dripped out. There wouldn't have been that initial squirt. But then Candace said that she saw the image and she knew for a fact that the bullet did not come out the back. I found out after the fact that the image, and I think Candace said this herself too, that the image that she saw, it was not like a raw image. She saw it on a screen during like a FaceTime or something. So with that, it's like you can't really trust the image. But anyway, at this stage in the investigation, I'm talking like early, like when Barron first started doing the Google Trends. You guys remember there was the man in the bush? Remember early on in the investigation, everyone had these pictures. There was a man in the bush to the side, and it's like, was that the shooter? You know, Barron talked about it. I talked about it. Ian talked about it. Everybody talked about the man in the bush. And then all of a sudden, the investigation kind of shifts gears a little bit, and we never got a resolution for that. What happened to the man in the bush? Was there ever a man in the bush? Is he still in the bush? Seriously, Bush Hibbs. No, but think about it. Like it's almost like everybody just forgot the guy was there. Everyone just forgot about the man in the bush. Right? Please, let me know if you know what I'm talking about, because it can't just be me. I'm gonna like go crazy over this. But there have been so many different theories. This thing has gone in so many different directions. And I always said from day one, when it came to the Charlie Kirk investigation, forget about the noise. Forget about the outside drama. You know, especially once we got the text messages, I thought that was evidence enough. But I always said, follow the money and stay on the scene. Like you can do like some discreet research and have other independent investigators and whatnot, investigative journalists looking into like the Egyptian planes and all this other stuff, Fort Huachuca. But I always felt like the attention should have stayed on the scene, because there was always enough, even if you couldn't prove exactly who did it and why, there has always been enough proof of a conspiracy. We've always had the proof of the conspiracy. From the synchronization of the signals, from the smiling over the body, from the removal of the SD cards, from the fact that they kept changing the story on whether or not Tyler changed clothes, where he was, when he changed clothes. Did he assemble the gun? Did he disassemble the gun? Did he jump off the roof with the gun? Was he carrying it when he went up there? If so, then how come his knees are bent? How come they're not showing any video footage? Like, these were all huge freaking tells that there was something shady going on. And then, you know, once we got Erica Kirk on the record saying, stay away from my family, leave my family alone, after Brian Harpole got caught telling so many lies on that Sean Ryan interview, and nobody's like investigating him, and Erica Kirk is stepping up to defend him, that right there, we had enough evidence right there in December that should have justified the investigation of Turning Point USA, and especially Erica Kirk and Brian Harpole. But then it got a little weird. It got really weird. Candace, you know, she said she's going to have the meeting with Erica. First, Turning Point says that they didn't say they're willing to talk to her. They said they were finally going to address it and that she was invited to show up and talk about it. And she said, no way. And then all of a sudden, Erica goes on her book tour and starts trying to slander her. And that was the moment on Fox News when everybody started turning against Erica and the whole world started seeing through it. And then she recorded that pre-recorded CBS town hall meeting. And everybody knew. Like, everybody knew what it was. At that point in time, the whole world turned against Erica Kirk. And Candace Owens had the shot lined up. She had her lined up. Dead to rights. And then she didn't take the shot. And I didn't understand why. I actually got so upset. I made a whole video calling her a fraud. I deleted it, but I mean, just for the context, because we're talking about it now, if you guys want, I'll post it again so that you guys can watch it. And because at this point, you guys kind of know how I am. Like anybody who watched that Wolves in Finance stream that I did with Danks and Kelly Rabin and Trigger Smart the other day, you guys know I have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about. Like, I see bullshit. I see that somebody's missing something, that somebody's purposely leaving something out or omitting something. I'm quick to call it out. And I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. Wolves in Finance, this one, that one. Doesn't matter if it's Candace or Barron. I see bullshit. I'm not afraid to call it out. Now, when I first called it out with Candace, I messaged Barron about it. And I tried to reach Ian about it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And with Barron, I did it on a super. And he told me, he's like, listen, I think that she was setting her up. Give her the benefit of the doubt. And then he had said that, like, oh, well, she got her tonight. You know, because it was an episode I didn't watch. And that was when she started bringing on Mitch Snow. And then we went into the whole whatever it's called, chapter. And now, you know, a couple months later, she's digging into Erica. But all the stuff that she's talking about Erica now, me and a lot of other people knew back in like November. It's like, what took so long? Like, why are we talking about it now? I don't understand. Like, why it took so long. And then now that we're talking about it now, look what else is going on. We got the files. We got war with Iran. Like, why the hell are they still talking about Charlie Kirk? And it's not an attack in any way. I'm just asking a serious question. Because if I had that level of influence, if I had tens of thousands of people that were watching me and listening to me, I would be doing things a little bit differently. I'd be saying, listen, we all love Charlie. Charlie needs justice. We're going to take Turning Point down. But right now, we're in the middle of World War III, and we just found out that the government is occupied and run by a bunch of PDFs, and I think we should shift focus a little bit. I'd be sitting there like the guy at the airport saying, hey, you know what? We're going to go this way. We're going to go this way. And they're not doing it. And then when I started, you know, raising awareness, saying, hey, what are we doing? Why are we still talking about this? Like, maybe we should start shifting the focus a little bit. A lot of different people are trying to get me to pivot back. It's like, oh, well, YouTube doesn't want us to do that. Like, no, the algorithm, you're going to get suppressed. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. And listen, if you got a family, if you're trying to make a living and you know the game better than I do, like I'm just like learning as I go here. But if that's what it is, then okay, it's good to know that that's what it is. But that's not freedom. That's not freedom of speech. And that's not the truth. It's a lie by omission. That's just my opinion. If you see what's going on in the world, if you read what I read in those files, and you are not trying to raise awareness and get some kind of call to action and actually have a call to action and get people involved to make some sort of change for us to take our country back, then what are you doing? What do you stand for? Am I a dick for saying that? Am I wrong for asking that right now? I actually, before I say any more, I want to know what you guys think. If you guys agree with what I'm saying, give me a bays is based. If you disagree, give me a boo. I won't take offense. I'm not gonna. I'm telling you, I'm always real with you guys. I just want to know how you guys feel. I want to check the temperature of the room. I'm probably gonna say what I'm gonna say regardless, but I want to know. I think the key is in the files too. Let's see what you guys are saying. Based. 100%. Based. All right. No, listen. I told you this. I'm in this because I literally feel the Holy Spirit inside of me. I feel like God gave me a mission to be the light and help you guys find the light inside of yourselves, because we've all been lied to. We've all been indoctrinated. We've all been poisoned, and they got us under a spell. They do. They have us all under a spell, and I'm just trying to break the spell. And that's it. And that's it. And this whole Charlie Kirk case, honestly, at this point, I don't even know if he's dead or alive. I think he's dead. I also think that he might be alive. I don't know what happened, but I do know whether or not he's dead or alive. The deep state has turned this into QAnon 2.0. They're just stringing everybody along with the carrot on the stick. It's just one rabbit hole after another. It's not going anywhere, and it's just distracting us from what we really need to be focusing on right now, and that is the files and the war and our family and the fact that they just shot down the banning of glyphosate in our food. You guys know that? They're still poisoning our food. We have Marines getting their hands smashed in saying that they don't want to die for a foreign nation. So, I'm sorry. I want Turning Point USA held accountable as much as everybody else, but it is not the priority right now. It's just not. And I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that's why all the mods on Barron's show are saying that Baze ain't based and that Baze is fake and gay. I tried to message Barron's sister about it after everyone started sending me screenshots about it. I'm like, what's going on? And at first I tried to downplay it. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. And then I'm watching the show myself yesterday, and it's happening again. And I never told you guys to go on Barron's chat and say Baze is based. I know I had that one rah-rah speech when the chat got hacked. And I said, oh, we're going to have to go Grassroots. And I was very vague. I actually think that I said that we were planning to do it to Ian. But that was going to be like coordinated. It was going to be like a 10-second thing where we were all going to do it at once, have a good laugh. I was going to send him a fat super, and I'd see how it play out. If it went well and it was okay and, it wasn't crossing lines, maybe we'd have done it again. But I didn't tell anyone to go on Barron's thing and spam them, and not for nothing, but one of those mods that did it, they messaged me asking me for transcripts because Barron was trying to reference something on his show. And I always talk about transcripts. I'm like, yeah, anything you guys need, I got you. I'll help you out. And then a week later, I'm fake and gay. Why? Because I want to talk about the files? Because I want to talk about the war? Because I don't want to kiss people's ass and just keep covering the content and keep up with the Charlie Kirk case? I don't know. And I love Barron. I think he's great. I think he's very intelligent. I love Candace too. I don't got anything against either of them. But I cannot in good conscience keep this in and just not let this out because I'm just seeing too much. I'm seeing too much. It's just like that Wolves in Finance video the other day. Like, sometimes now that I'm getting into the space and I'm seeing how hard it is to break in and I'm seeing how much I'm getting suppressed and how fast other people took off, it's like I'm starting to think they're all feds. I'm just going to say it flat out. I'm starting to think everybody is either an agent or an asset or something or getting pushed behind. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just like me and they're playing the game the right way. They're riding the algorithm. They're going where they're going to get the push. I don't know. And I'm just thinking out loud right now. And you know what? Like I said, I love all these guys. And I came in to support them too. Like Candace, Barron, especially Ian. They were all major influences for me. They were the whole reason why I started doing this to begin with. I saw all the hate that they were getting online, and I wanted to step up and have their back. I really did. I'm like, you know what? This is bullshit. Like, these people are really risking their lives trying to get the truth. Like, I literally spent nights, like, praying for Candace, praying for Ian, praying for Barron. God, keep them safe. They might not know just what they're getting into. But now it seems that the algorithm's just pushing it, you know? And I don't think Valhalla's going to say it out loud, but the second he pivoted from the turning point, they started pulling the plug on him. The second I started pivoting, I'm getting more subscribers in a week than I'm getting views on my videos. Think about that. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. I'm trying to figure everything out. But I told you guys from the beginning that I would never lie to you, that I was not going to conform, that I was not going to kiss ass, that I would rather fucking die. And things just haven't been going the way that I thought they would. And I'm starting to get an idea why. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, Mad said it. Mad said it. I wasn't going to say it. That's right. Mad World. She got fired from 2 different shows for offering to support my platform. Kind of screwed up. Kind of screwed up. Shout out to Mad for keeping it real. Mad is a real one. Mad is a real one. I told Mad she should just make a video if she wanted to tell her story. She was so devastated too. It's so messed up. These mods, they don't even get paid. They like literally volunteer their time. She's like volunteering hours of every day for months. For months. Just to get the boot. Like, isn't that exactly what Erica Kirk did to the people at Turning Point USA? Think about it. What's the difference? What's the difference? I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to get a couple of unfollows on Instagram tomorrow, though. Fuck it, though, you know? Fuck it. It is what it is. Listen, I'm always going to keep it real. I don't know who's real in this business. I'm starting to think I'm starting to think Operation Mockingbird hit YouTube the same way it hit the mainstream media. I don't know if I could trust any of these fucking people. I really don't. I really don't. And I do have more receipts to back this case. And I'm not the only one that has these receipts. But I'm going to just leave it at that for now. All right. I said my piece. Yo, I wasn't even going to talk about it either, I swear. I had all these clips, and then I come back, the stream's not working, I can't get it on, my clips are gone. I'm like, what am I going to do for my show? You know, it's like, oh, let me just speak my mind. That's never a bad idea, right, guys? Thank you. Another membership. I appreciate it. 1202. Someone did huge blocks of based over and over. A couple chats clogging it up. Someone must have got mad. Yeah, I totally understand. That I totally understand. And that's why I didn't jump to conclusions the first time. But then yesterday I'm watching the show and somebody said it once and then I'm seeing shit get talked about me and they're getting timed out. And that's not what it was. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm not trying to trash anybody. Like I said, I love Barron. You know, he's done great work, you know, and like I said, with the influence that they have and the abilities and the resources, I just wish that they were doing something else. And seeing how YouTube is, I could kind of understand why they're not. I mean, the guy's got 8 kids. You know what I mean? 8 kids. He just quit his job. You know, you're going to ask him to risk tanking it, his whole livelihood, how he feeds his kids? Like, that's a tough ask. That's a tough ask. Especially if I'm like the guinea pig and all of a sudden I'm doing this and my stream's getting cut and this has happened. I'm getting 64 people on my lives. You think Baron Coleman quit his job so that he could freaking have a couple hundred people watching his lives? No way. No way. You know, the problem isn't the influencers. The problem is the platform. The problem is the government. The problem is that they're giving us these they're putting us in these boxes. They're trying to force us into operating within these parameters and literally just like saying like, yeah, you could say whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. But if you do it, you're going to starve. If you do it, your kids are going to starve. And that's why, like, I'm not sitting here saying that like Barron and Candace are in on this Charlie Kirk thing. I'm saying that I think that the whole Charlie Kirk assassination, whether he's alive or dead, was done, and it was done the way it was done on purpose to put us all on a wild goose chase. So that the Candace Owens, the Ian Carrolls, everybody in the world would be so distracted with that. It's like the magician trick. Look over here, and then they're going to do this. And it's like, now that the jig is up and we see that that's the case and we see what's going on, it's like, why are we still looking over there? You know, it made sense in the beginning. It made sense a month ago. But right now, in March of 2026, with everything going on, it does not make sense. It does not make sense. All right, yeah, I'm a clown, whatever. I don't care. It's fine. You know, I'm just speaking my mind. I'm just telling it how I see it. It is what it is. All right, let's go.
To speak out against the Senate and ask them why they're going to send our men and women to harm's way when our elected officials said that there would be no war. Anybody who feels disillusioned and betrayed by our government, you're not alone. Join us in demanding accountability for this betrayal. Free Palestine, free America. Let's go. Hey guys.
Is that the same guy that got his hand broken? No, it doesn't look like it. Is that the Marine? That's so sad. Yep. You know? And I don't want anyone to get over a year I've been calling out. Let's see what Yeah, I'm not trying. And guys, listen, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I speak my mind. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not like telling, you know what I mean? Like, that's my own personal feelings, you know? Yo, my feed is like so flooded. You see this? It's like the same stuff over and over again. That's why I'm pissed that I lost my videos. Oh, you guys want to hear a little Fuentes?
To escalate or expand the war or even continue the war in Iran. And so you have this Marine show up to the hearing protesting. And as a matter of fact, this is the Marine. A lot of people don't know this. He actually delivered that report, I don't know if it was a year ago, 2 years ago, about the systematic killing of Palestinians in Gaza. So last year, it was a huge scandal that Israelis had permitted some humanitarian aid to get into the Gaza Strip. And there were rumors and reports that they were shooting some of the civilians in the back as they tried to get the aid, as they went to the aid site and they tried to get supplies. This is the Marine that actually exposed this. He actually delivered a military report and reported that, yes, this is an eyewitness account. He saw IDF shooting at civilians unarmed trying to get aid. It's the same guy, at least that's what I was told. And to me, this is just a picture of America right now, which is you have a U.S. Marine. These are the people that are actually prosecuting the war, actually fighting the war.
And this is the problem. They're trying to gaslight people. Like, it's like anyone who's critical of America right now is getting gaslighted. It's like you hate your country. It's like, no, we love our country. We love our country. But we want our country to stand for something. We were told that our country stands for something, that we are the ones that spread liberty and democracy, and we protect the people that need protecting. And that is not what's been happening. And that got proven with the files. got proven with the files because all the people that did those horrible things to those kids got protected. They got protected. Not a single person got arrested. Do you know that they proved? I was watching Jimmy Dore the other day. If this is true, then it is proof that J.E. is alive and was swapped out and snuck out of prison. Because it says in the files, allegedly, that he had gotten his prostate removed. He had gotten surgery, he had issues, and they took out his prostate. But then the man that they said was him, that allegedly offed himself in jail, well, in the autopsy, it said that his prostate was perfectly fine. How do you explain that one? How do you explain that one? How do you explain someone that's supposed to be Ghislaine Maxwell testifying that has a completely different face, a different shaped head, different shaped nose, different accent, same haircut, maybe? How do you explain it? And how come nobody's talking about that? You know, like why aren't these big influencers breaking those stories? You know, that's why I love Jimmy Dore. Shout out to Jimmy Dore. He's a real one. He's always given the goods.
War. These are the best of us. These are people that voluntarily give up their life, potentially, risk the ultimate sacrifice for the good of the country. And they're being sent out now into, like you said, yet another ridiculous regime change war in the Middle East for Israel. And that's what the guy says. He says, look, we don't want to die for Israel. Americans don't want to die for Israel. And look at the way that he's being treated. Literally dragged out of the chamber by the cops. A U.S. senator jumps into action like you said, like a whore, like a disgusting slut, jumps in the middle of the action trying to get this guy out of there. They smash his hand in the door. That's the picture of America. That Marine is all of us. He's all the Americans that are saying, we don't want to go along with this. We don't want to die for Israel. We want our freedom and independence and sovereignty back. And this is our security apparatus and our representatives, our politicians, telling us, shut the fuck up and get out. You have no First Amendment. You have no recourse. This is the way the country's going. You know, even in the Senate, what they're trying to do is exercise constitutional restraint on the executive branch. According to the Constitution, you have to ask Congress to go to war. There's no formal declaration of war. There's no authorization of the use of military force. Trump is instigating the war. Now we're in it. Our elected body is supposed to restrain this action, and Republicans shot it down basically on party lines. And now we're being held hostage by this GOP, which many white people voted in. So it is this feeling of powerlessness. People are getting the shit kicked out of them, figuratively, and in this case now literally, for wanting to put America first. It's
Yo, he is absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I can't disagree with anything Fuentes just said. You know, and I wish more people were saying it. You know, because our country, we are going down a really dark path right now. And I'm afraid that the government might hit a point of no return. I am. I do not want America to not be America. You know, like it's just so messed up. It's just so messed up. So, you know, when I come on and I come on my computer and all my clips are gone and I see that, you know, I go on X and the first thing that pops up, it says Trump has a 98% approval rating. It's like, is Robert Maxwell back from the dead? Did Ghislaine take over the press? Did Larry Ellison buy Fox? Like, what's going on? What's going on? You know, Fuentes was MAGA. Is he part of that 2%? I was technically, I guess, part of MAGA. I guess I'm part of that 2%. That Marine is definitely part of that 2%, unless he's a Democrat. You know who is part of that 98%, though? Chuck Schumer. Yeah, Chuck Schumer, Kamala Harris. They're both for the war. How does that make sense? All these Democrats that hated Trump so much and didn't want him in office and he was so bad and if he won, then this would happen and that would happen. And in all honesty, he's doing the same thing they were going to do. That's why I made that video the other day saying that the 2024 election was a scam. Because they were going to shove this war down our throats no matter what. And this is why I keep telling you guys, our politics are bullshit. Our elections are bullshit. Once you get past the primary, that's it. The primary is designed to filter out the people like Thomas Massie to make sure they don't get to the White House and make sure that they have two different people with two different ideologies that are going to operate within the same parameters of the main goal. That they're going to ride the algorithm. They're going to stick with the Charlie Kirk case. They're not going to stray off. They're not going to say no war. They're not going to talk about the files. They're just going to keep everybody distracted with some bullshit or another. WWE. So I just want to ask you guys, who's really going max? Who is really going max? Like, I'm just sick of all this crap. Seriously. I'm sick of all of this, and I don't fucking care. Let it be known. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to give up. I don't care if I have to scratch and fucking claw for every single subscriber, every single follower, every single view. Okay? I am going to take this show to the fucking top. They are going to have to kill me to get me to stop. And I am going to rip through anybody and everybody that gets in my way. I am not afraid to call out the bullshit wherever it is. So let it be known. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet, including myself. I'm not worried about it. I have nothing to hide. I don't know about if that's the same for everybody. I just don't know. And ever since I started making these videos, especially like where I'm ripping into Bongino, ripping into that one, I've had a lot of people try to give me information to get me to rip into other people. And I say no. Like, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? No. The only reason I've been ripping into people that I've been ripping into is because they're either covering up for the files, they're covering up for the PDFs, they're being disrespectful to people that really shouldn't be disrespected. They're purposely giving misinformation to mislead the public or distract them. They're trying to drive the wedge between the left and the right. I don't care about this other crap. I don't care. The only reason I said the stuff that I said today is because shit was getting said about me first. I gave it a couple days. I'm like, let's see what happens. Anything comes back. Nothing did. It's like, all right, I'll speak on it. What am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to bite my fucking tongue. It's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, Jimmy Dore. Yo, I'm telling you, Jimmy Dore, he's one of my favorites. He's just tells it like it is. He talks about the real news, the real problems. And the guys like that, they get punished, man. The guys like that get punished. If you're going to be real and you're going to tell the truth and you're going to try to really call out the shit, you're going to get attacked, you're going to get suppressed, you're going to get demonetized at times. You're going to have a much harder time. But, this is what I keep telling you guys. We are the light. We are the light. We are not the ones that conform. Okay? We're not going to ride the algorithm. We're going to fucking break it. And if it's not going to happen on YouTube, it's going to happen on somewhere else. I could bet your ass that. I'll find a home. Yeah, I will. I'll find a place to get it out. And you guys are all going to do it with me. What a fucking day. What a day. I'm trying to read some of these comments now. Excited. Listen, guys, stop getting excited about me ripping people. I'm trying to be the light. I told you, we're the light. I'm not just trying to go around and rip people. There are a lot of people that need ripping, and yeah, I'm probably the guy to do it, but it's not like, oh, we're going to fucking wake up and pick a name out of a hat and like, oh yeah, like that's not what I'm trying to do. You know? And I notice people instigating me. I know it. I see it. I can tell when people are instigating me. I'm not going to say any names, but I called someone out yesterday because they were trying to instigate me. Listen, it's going to happen organically. If someone needs to get ripped, and I have a valid reason, I will rip them. I will debate them. I will have their back. Again, think about it. The other day, when everybody's like hating on Netanyahu in the comments, what did I say? What did I say? I said, pray for the guy. Right now, the best thing that could happen for everybody, you get all these different people out there that just want to line up everybody against the wall. Like they think like there's going to be some revolution and we're just going to bloodshed, like rah, rah, rah. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. That's not what we want. That's not what your thoughts should be. That's not what you should be hoping for. Because if you could have anything that you want, I don't think more violence should be the first thing that comes to your mind. It's not the first thing that comes to my mind. You know what comes to my mind? I hope they find Jesus. I hope everybody finds Jesus and they try to repent for their sins. I say it all the time, and I know you guys don't like when I say it, especially when I talk about people like Netanyahu, but can you imagine if Netanyahu was on our side, if he was a Christian? I mean, that guy is really influential. Listen, say what you want. He's a great talker. He's like one of the most persistent motherfuckers you're ever going to see in your life. Like this guy, like this whole Iran thing, it took him fucking 30 years, but he did it. Imagine if he spent 30 years trying to end world hunger, trying to get everyone free Medicare. Seriously, if anybody could have gotten the whole planet free healthcare, it could have been Benjamin Netanyahu. But, he just didn't find Jesus. And he surrounded himself with people that may or may not worship Baal. So, sorry, no free healthcare. We just got World War III. It is what it is. But I'm just saying. Like when I say that we are the light, it means that we have to be the good ones. We got to play by a different set of rules. We're not trying to sell our souls. We're trying to be a positive influence, and we want a high tide raises all ships. We're not trying to sink all the other ships so that we're the last boat standing, or that we have a clear path for what we want. Because it seems to me that that's exactly what everybody else is trying to do. I'm not trying to sink any ships. I'm just trying to be an influencer that tries to get all the ships on the right path. Get them sailing the right way. Take us all to the promised land. Yo, fuck the Dow. I just got to say that. Fuck the Dow. Like, seriously, I hear the Dow. Oh, the economy's doing great. Yo, the majority of the stocks are owned by all the people that have the money. The people in the files, the PDFs, the people that make their living exploiting and robbing the poor. If the whole stock market crashed to get tomorrow and the dollar went to zero, we'd have a much more balanced playing field. Maybe that's what we need, some sort of reset. I don't know. It might not be the worst thing to happen. Seriously, if you're living check to check and you don't have a dollar to your name and you don't have any assets, what the hell do you care? What does it matter to you whether the Dow is at 50,000 or 30 or 10? Does it matter at all? Seriously. Oh, man. You guys think my show's going to get shut down tomorrow? Is this my last episode? Is this my last episode? Am I going to have to apologize to Dan Bongino so I could open up shop on Rumble? That'll be the fucking day. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. And we got Pitsy in the house. You were totally kidding? I missed your joke. What'd you say? So is the Dow still at 50? Yo. Yo, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. All right, so you guys don't think I took it too far today? Let me ask you, who still agrees with me? You don't even got to write it based. Just give me a 7 if you still agree with me. Oh, Envy, I forgot you're in Canada. Out here trying to out hustle Dollar General on Saturday. Damn, who's blocking your messages? I don't think anybody's blocking your messages. I don't have any settings blocking messages. Just please don't say anything crazy. No violence. I don't need any of that negative energy in my life. Sevens for sure. You guys still love me? There's no torches and pitchforks coming for me yet? Damn, I hate this leg. I am gonna do me. I am gonna do me. Listen, that's the only thing you guys can really ever like that's your one guarantee with me. Is that I'm gonna speak my mind and I'm gonna do me. I'll probably piss people off along the way, but you know, what am I gonna tell you? What am I gonna tell you? I would rather be me and just speak the truth. And I don't know. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. And there's just like this tick in my brain that makes me call out bullshit. I can't, Yeah, nobody's blocking messages. Mad's the one with the authority. If anyone's blocking messages, take it up with Mad. But I don't have any heavy-handed mods, so you normally don't got to worry about that. Oh, whatever. And we got Jackie in the house. Yo, I always got to give Jackie the special shout-outs, because anytime I'm watching an influencer, I see Jackie throwing up bricks of Bezos based. I saw it like 3 times on Candace. Brought a tear to my eye. My sister's texting me, like, yo, they got your back. I'm like, that's my girl, Jackie. Fucking A. No, I got to come up with a different game plan, though. I thought that, I don't know, I thought things were going to be a little different in the YouTube space. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. Zero tolerance for bullshit, either 100 level on bullshit meter. Yeah, no, I'm not bullshitting nobody. Krista, you have a great night. I appreciate you taking the time. KK, what's up? Going full on prepper here, not waiting for the government to cut my food access off. I am a bot, apparently. Yo, you are not a bot. You are not a bot, for sure. Louisiana girl. Yo, what is Regenerator say? What did he say? I'm missing comments here. Every space has their clicks. Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. I've never been into the click thing, but I've always tried to be a supporter of everybody, But I've been very supportive to certain, like, I'm not going to keep calling out names or whatever, but like the people that know, I've been a big supporter, and I was supporting for like months before I even did this. Like, think about it. I just started going live 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago. I've been out here in the chats, since the fall. I started making content around the end of the year. But I only started going live in February. And when I did go live, I was trying to stay out of everybody's way. I wasn't overlapping with anybody. The only time I did was because of the Trump address, because everybody was on anyway. And I knew I was going to have like 30 people. And some of them were like actual friends and family in real life. So it wasn't like I was trying to like make a move or anything, like it was the address. But now, fuck it. It's going to be open season. I'm not, like, if this is what it is, if I really am like in no man's land and I'm like a one-man army, I'll just go live whenever the fuck I want. Maybe I'll start going live like 3 times a day. If I got to work that hard, if I got to work that hard to get my following and scratch and claw, I'll do it like today. Today, I was live at noon. I was live at 5. I'm live at 10. Who knows? Maybe I'll just chop it up morning, noon, and night. I'll split up the programs. Maybe I'll do like a members only research live or, like a morning news live, and then we'll have like a clips live. I don't know. No, that's a lot of time. I don't even know if I'm capable of that. But I'm thinking about it. Tomorrow is a new day one for me. Tomorrow is a new day one. So, yeah. Stop stealing your sunshine. Sorry. I'm sorry, Holly. Hardest working man. Yeah, the hardest working man in live streaming and the fucking poorest. Oh, man. Whatever. It is what it is. It's all going to work out. So, yeah. At least I'm making other friends in the industry, though. You know, I got a couple of real ones. There are a couple of real ones still. You know, Danks, it's my boy. We got Kelly. We got Blake. Actually, maybe I shouldn't be shouting out people's names tonight. They're gonna be posted on X. Baze is fake and gay. Yo, can you imagine? You never know. You never know. Oh man, you know what? I am a fucking menace to society. I'm starting to think I'm like the Joker. You know, that's what people used to tell me, like at my old jobs, that I was like the Joker. That is like I was very unpredictable. I didn't give a fuck, you know? And maybe that's just how I got to be in this field. I don't know. I think it makes sense. Mood hover. Yo, you guys are having, I'm glad you guys are having so much fun. I'm glad you guys are having so much fun. Well, you don't see Mad anywhere. You don't see Mad everywhere anymore. But you'll see her on my show. Yo, Mad is like assistant captain of the real Baze team. The Joker is actually based. Don't worry. We're going to be doing big things on this show. We're going to be doing big things on this show. And we are going to keep it real. We are going to give the truth. And I'll tell you one thing. If there is some shady shenanigans with this Charlie Kirk investigation, and there's some things, some factors in the equation that have been left out thus far, I will find out. I'm just not going to go out of my way to try to find out now. Right now, we have priorities. There's a lot of things going on in the world. But as of now, if I had to put my money on it, I think that the whole Charlie Kirk thing is a psyop. I think it's QAnon 2.0. And I think anybody who's still prioritizing on it full time, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just my opinion. We all mad here? Don't be mad. I want you guys to be happy. Yo, Danks is awesome. Yeah, and Kelly's awesome too. Yo, how many of you watched those streams that we all did together? We had the four of us on Saturday, and then it was me, Danks, and Kelly. And then Trigger Smart actually hopped on too on Sunday. Yeah, we do have to focus on what's most important and prioritize. Oh, you're the Mad Hatter? Oh, sure, Mad is the Hatter. You came at the right time? I don't know, the right time might have been 20 minutes ago. You might be a little late. You caught the Sunday live? What did you think? Yeah, yo, a lot of you guys were telling me. I was getting so many messages. Danks and Kelly told me. Everyone's like, yo, you have to see that video. You have to see that video. My fucking text messages, my Instagram DMs, my email. Everybody's telling me I got to watch this video. And then I'm watching this video and I'm like waiting for the big reveal. And he's going with the palm pistol at the end. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is going on? I felt like we all got duped. And I don't hold it against you guys. Because I don't expect you guys to have gone down as deep of the rabbit holes as I have in all the research and everything. But there was a lot of lies by omission in that. He left a lot of stuff out. It just felt like a lot of misdirection. It felt like a lot of misdirection. And, you know, at first, everybody on that panel disagreed with me. And I made my case. I don't know if they all disagree with me today. I know at least one or two of them agree with me. Just saying. I did break down that video crazy, didn't I? I got up to freshen up the top gear. Yo, I'm telling you, they're not going to get the bullshit by me. They're not going to get the bullshit by me. And if I don't know, then I'm going to do the homework and I'm going to find out. You know, like even that Frank Turek thing, when I said that, oh, Frank Turek was definitely taking the picture of Rick Cutler. No, I saw another image that showed Frank Turek in the thing. And then I was talking to Blake Bednarz about it, and he said, no, he's like, Frank Turek with the phone, that was just another misdirection. He wasn't filming anything. And I'm like watching it from every angle, and I'm like, dude, like, is he really? Like, the hat, the holding the phone, everything was misdirection. All these, Rick Cutler with the thing, there was no palm pistol. There was nothing there. He's just making the motion because he wanted it to look like there was. The hat, the hand signals, even Dan Flood, he steps up. I mean, think about it. Think about it. The text messages, he's afraid for his life. Oh, I have his phone. I would have seen it. It's like, oh, they're there. All these different things. It's just like a giant brain screw for everybody. And everyone's just latched onto this bandwagon, going from freaking, oh, we're going to Egyptian plane, Fort Huachuca, oh, the guy in the bush, every fucking direction. Meanwhile, it's World War III, the files are out, the world's going mad, the Dow is at 50, but everything else is completely fucked. And you got hundreds of thousands of people every day fucking tuning in for the next episode of Who Gives a Fuck? You know, like, listen, I'm not trying to be abrasive here, but like, seriously, it's exactly the same problem that I had with the Super Bowl and the Olympics. When everybody was like, oh, the fucking halftime show, can you believe it? Bad Bunny. It's like, who gives a fuck? The files. Oh, the Olympics, yeah, Team USA won. Yeah, we beat Canada in a hockey game. Who gives a fuck? The files. You know? Erica Kirk had a crew cut or Erica Kirk had a mushroom cut 25 years ago. Who gives a fuck? Seriously. And you know what? A lot of people do care. There are a lot of people tuning in that do care. You know, a lot of people watch Days of Our Lives every day too, even if the freaking world is burning. You know, what am I going to say? You know, be yourself. You know, do what you love. Watch what you love. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I got the fucking Holy Spirit inside of me. I know that I'm doing the right thing. I know that my senses are right. I know I'm on the right path. And that's it. Nobody's convincing me otherwise. And no algorithm is going to convince me that I need to make this video instead of telling the truth. It's like, oh, maybe if I just, make the thumbnail a little more clickbaity. Maybe if I just lead people on a little bit. Maybe if I just mislead with a little information. Maybe I just don't tell everybody about this really solid tip that I got because it's going to screw up 6 episodes down the road. Even with the supers, man, like I thought it was so weird. I thought YouTube was censoring me because there have been so many times that I tried to send different people supers and they wouldn't go through. And I was trying to give tips and they're not going through. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then, they end up getting to it eventually. But I could have saved everybody a couple of months. We could have gotten some of this information out a couple weeks sooner. I don't know. Still cringe at the person saying. Kash Patel really happy about hockey? Yo, Kash Patel, I think he's just really happy that he got away with everything. I don't know. Even that I feel like was like a little mini psyop. You guys really think that was just sincere, that Kash Patel was just really there having a good time? Or you think that maybe that there was some other ulterior motive, that somebody said, hey, Kash, go over there, hang out, have a beer, do a little photo op. We need a headline for tomorrow. Gonna really rile them up. Keep distracting them from the files. I am going to put out what I want. I'm going to put out what I want. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to do what I want. And there ain't a motherfucker that's going to stop me. Like I said, you are going to have to off me. It's just it. It's just it. And if they do, then you know I was right. I say it every day. I love my life. I'm very grateful. I'm very happy. I don't drink. I don't use substances. Cash is a puck. Gotta love those pineapples. Oh, man. Guys, what are we gonna do? Yo, I've been ranting for an hour already? Man. My mouth is always getting me in trouble. Let's see. Is there anything good? Oh, we got a Massie clip. Oh, we gotta watch this. Yeah, I think Mad had a real red pill moment the other day. And she opened my eyes too. We are all in this together. Every single person that supports my channel in one way or another, whether it's with your time, with a like, with a share, monetary in some way, we are all in this together. All right. Stu Peters says that Massie goes nuclear. Let's see what he says.
Mr. Speaker, James Madison wrote to Thomas Jefferson in 1789, the Constitution supposes what the history of all governments demonstrates, that the executive branch of power is the most interested in war and most prone to it. It has accordingly, with studied care, vested the question of war in the legislature. The Constitution is clear. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11 of our Constitution provides Congress initiatory powers of war. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of our Constitution gives the President operational powers of war to wage that war. Even if this body were to pretend that the 1973 War Powers Resolution supersedes the clear language of the Constitution, the President still has not met the conditions required by that law itself. The 1973 War Powers Resolution states plainly that the President may only introduce U.S. armed forces into hostilities pursuant to 3 conditions. Either 1, declaration of war, 2, specific statutory authorization, or 3, a national emergency created by an attack upon the United States. None of those conditions exist today. Iran has not attacked the United States, Congress has not declared war, and Congress has not granted specific statutory authorization. Beyond the constitutional question, here lies an even more important one. Why are we going to war with Iran? We owe our military service members a clear mission. And American families in my district want to know how this is going to help them pay for groceries. How does this make them any safer in their schools or in their neighborhoods? How does this help them pay for housing? Have we learned nothing from the laundry list of wars and regime change experiments we sparked across the Middle East that have racked up a total of at least $8 trillion of debt in Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan? A sustained war with Iran will not stabilize the region. It's already ignited the region. It will radicalize new generations of terrorists, and it will send more swarms of refugees into Europe and the United States. Iran is not Venezuela. The Ayatollah was not a president. He was a religious leader from a region notorious for radical Islamists. And the United States and Israel turned him into a martyr. And in the process of doing so, we've already expended billions of dollars, and more solemnly, 6 American families must now lay to rest their sons and daughters. And for what? This administration can't even give us a straight answer as to why we launched this preemptive war. The president says we had to strike first because an Iranian strike was imminent. Meanwhile, the Department of Defense conceded there was no evidence of an imminent Iranian strike. Some told us this war was about nuclear weapons, but 6 months ago, we were assured our last strike on Iran decimated their nuclear program. So which is it? I think the most candid answer came from the Secretary of State, who told the press that Israel forced our hand and dragged us into this war again. And that truth is the very reason why it is Congress that must decide war. If American lives are to be risked and American blood is to be shed, that decision must be debated and voted on by the representatives of the American people. And that debate is meant to be arduous. And that vote is meant to be hard. I have a theory. I think my colleagues don't want to go on record because we have a terrible track record of meddling in the Middle East. They don't want their name associated with this when it doesn't turn out well. But Congress cannot be bothered with its constitutional duty because for many in this chamber, it's easier to simply allow someone else's sons and daughters to be sent to combat without their vote. And to be clear, we aren't even here to declare war today. All we're voting on is a war powers resolution to reassert the Constitution, that Congress must decide questions of war. And if Congress wants war, then the Speaker should hold a vote to declare it. Some say Congress authorizes war when we pay for it, when we pass the budget bill. Here's the problem. We haven't taken on the hard work of defining the mission for our sons and daughters who are going to fight. That's not in the budget bill. It never is. And to the men and women who are engaged in combat, I sincerely thank you, and I pray for your safety. It is for you that I wrote this resolution. It is for you that all of us are here on this floor working so hard to force this vote so that you will have a clear mission that you deserve, so that you will know when you achieve it, you can come home.
Yo, thank God for Thomas Massie. See, that's a guy who tells it like it is.
James Massie.
That's a guy who's not afraid to tell it like it is. He's got the whole world against him, too. He knows they're all trying to primary him. But he's still doing what he knows is right. He's still speaking up. He's still fighting the good fight. Even if it means his career. Even if it means he gets primaried. Even if it means he might be in danger. He's not giving in. He's not conforming. He's not selling out. You know, imagine if we had a lot more Thomas Massies. The world would be a much better place. That's all I'm saying. Yo, shout out to Lance and Daisy. I heard you guys were watching the show. I appreciate you. Nice to get the love. Let's see. Up. Let's cover the boy Danks.
Ayatollahs did not emerge from nowhere. They emerged from the ruins of a country that had its democracy stolen by the CIA when it was less than a decade old. And here's the part that really you should sit with is that the hostage crisis in 79, the one that Caroline Levitt referenced in her White House briefing as justification for bombing Iran, happened because of what we did in 1953. We created the conditions for the revolutions that created the government that took these hostages, took this entire radicalism to that direction. And now 47 years after the hostage crisis and 73 years after we stole their democracy, we are using 1979 as the moral justification for 2026. Now, this is the blueprint. In 1996, a group of American foreign policy strategists sat down and wrote a document for the incoming prime minister of Boston. His name was Benjamin Netanyahu, and it was his first term. And they titled it A Clean Break, a new strategy for securing the realm. The lead author was Richard Pearl. You might have heard his name. His nickname inside the Reagan-era Pentagon was the Prince of Darkness. Co-authors included Douglas Faith, David Wormser. Both would go on to hold senior national security positions in the George Bush White House after September 11th, 2001. And here is what the document called for: abandon the Oslo peace process, destabilize Syria, remove Saddam Hussein from power in Iraq, and this is their exact language: roll back Iran. Clean break, a new strategy for securing the realm. It was published, I think I can find it actually. Let me look here. If you look, a clean break. Here it is. I'll just pull up the Wikipedia page. A clean break, a new strategy for securing the realm. Policy document that was prepared in 1996 by a study group led by Richard Pearl for Benjamin Netanyahu, then Prime Minister of Israel, still today. The report explained a new approach to solving their security problems in the Middle East with an emphasis on Western values. It has since been criticized for advocating an aggressive new policy, including the removal of Saddam Hussein from power in Iraq. Not saying that he shouldn't be there, but again, it's part of a playbook. That's why I put this poll up. We have 151 votes. Did you know that this was a planned event from 30 years ago? Did you know? It's a 30-year plan, okay? According to the report's preamble, it was written by
It's not just a 30-year plan. They also said that to execute that plan, that they were going to need a new Pearl Harbor. But I'll save all that for another episode. I think I got myself into enough trouble for one day.
the study group in New Boston Strategy toward 2000, which was part of the Institute for Advanced Strategic and Political Studies. All right. This is all here. It's called A Clean Break, a New Strategy for Securing the Realm. If I didn't put it in the description, I will, but I would like you to go and check that out so you understand the history of how we got here. Iraq was invaded in 2003. Syria was destabilized starting in 2011. Assad fell in December of 2024. Iran is being bombed as we speak today. That is the clean break checklist, executed in sequence across 6 American presidencies spanning both parties, written in 1996.
What do you guys think about all that? You know, and not for nothing, shout out to Nate, because Nate's been talking about it too. You know, all the stuff that Danks just said in there. And Danks, man, yo, that guy does great research, great analytical work. But Nate's been talking about that too. You know? Oh, here we go.
Weapon, and if we didn't hit within 2 weeks, they would have had a nuclear weapon. If we didn't do the B-2 attack a number of months ago, they would have a nuclear weapon. And when crazy people have nuclear weapons, bad things happen. So we're in very good shape now.
I think he's absolutely right. When crazy people have nuclear weapons, bad things happen. And I think that right now, a lot of bad things are happening because crazy people have nuclear weapons.
I want to let you know that, and we will continue forward. But it's a great display of military strength, and I'm very proud to have, with some of the people in the room, both senators and congressmen, we rebuilt, and women. If we didn't hit...
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. Oh. We got all the heavy hitters out tonight.
So let's see if we can unite the country against this war. We're starting with progressives and libertarians here, right? So, Dave, I came up with an idea. I'm gonna run it by you. You're the first person I'm running it by. Let's see if we can get agreement on it and see what we can do going forward, right? The idea is called Operation Consequences. And so the first step was going to be having us pick champions for our side and have them introduce the War Power Resolution Act, right? And good news, since there are champions, they already did it without us asking, okay? Yeah. So my guess is you would have picked Thomas Massie. I would have picked Bernie Sanders, and Thomas Massie and Bernie Sanders have introduced legislation to bring the power of war back to Congress, which is where the Constitution has it. right? So let's get back to our constitutional system. Let's get back to war. So step one's already done because that's what champions are made of, right? So, okay, step two is a pledge that if anybody votes yes on this resolution, that we never vote for them again. Ever, 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 okay? You can tell me you're great on every other issue, and I could really like you, but you vote yes on this war, and we're done with you forever. What do you think?
100%, yes.
Okay, so we set up a site, it's like, it just directs back to a pledge. We're gonna do more and more as we go along, but the pledge is to never vote for anyone who voted yes on this war. And it's called unitedagainstwar.com.
I think that's a great idea. I agree 100%. Not just anyone who voted for it, anybody who's advocating it, anybody who's promoting it, anyone who supports this war in any way. We should never vote for them again. Never. And you can't just wait for the main elections. You have to vote at the primaries. The primaries the primaries are more important than the regular elections. It doesn't matter. You get a Democrat, Republican. Listen, you need to make sure, if you have a Democrat and a Republican that are both for this, like we had with Kamala and Trump, then the election itself doesn't matter. You need to primary them out. We need to make sure we have the right people in the primaries and win the primary. And then who knows, maybe we can actually have elections where it's not like some big mudslinging contest where they're all just burying each other and trying to rip each other's skeletons out of the closet. You know, like maybe they can actually just, have real debates about policy and let people debate about it and debate amongst ourselves in a respectful manner, and then have an honest, clean election for what we believe is best for the people. And when that person wins the election, they actually do what they said they were going to do. They actually keep their promises. I mean, I know that it's like a really crazy idea. I know I'm like a freaking Ozzy Osbourne level dreamer for even thinking it. But wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think it'd be nice.
We'll have the link down below, unitedagainstwar.com, okay? So now, here's the reason to do a pledge. If it turns out, Dave, that it's just me and you, and we ask, our audience, you ask.
That is right, Pitsy. Dan Crenshaw is officially out due to the primaries.
Your audience and part of the problem. We both talk about it in all the shows we go on, but we just can't get to like 1 million people that sign the pledge. People aren't gonna take it seriously. Oh, 12,000 people, that's nice, but it's not gonna work, right? And maybe, Dave, what we wind up doing is, Al Capone's vault here. Like, you remember Geraldo made a big deal about it, hyped it up, and then it turns out there wasn't anything in it, right? But if you get to 1 million or 2 million voters who say they will never vote for someone who votes for this war, or you get to 5 million, now all of a sudden a little bit of concern starts to creep in. And mainstream media starts to go, who are these rabble rousers? And how dare they be against this war? So now I'm gonna get to the next steps in a second, but a mass of people promising like a new voting bloc, totally divorced from the parties. And this is really important. Dave, what I'm saying is do it in your primaries. So nobody's doing unilateral surrender to the other side, right? So if a Democrat votes for this war, you must go vote in a primary against them, right? And if a Republican votes for this war, same thing, go in a Republican primary and vote against them. Does that part make sense?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely need to start making some changes. Yo, I still can't get over this though. I'm gonna play this one more time, just warning everybody. It's like, yo, how could this be happening in America? This is something that everybody should be talking about.
Let go of the door. Let go of the door. The senator broke his hand. A sitting U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine.
Oh, it was the senator that broke his hand? Which senator?
Control your Senate.
I'm stuck in the door. Okay, sir.
A U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine.
Hand's stuck.
A U.S. Senator just broke the hand of a Marine. You're a coward. Punk. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Why do you say that? Senator? Go fuck yourself. You're a shit seal. That's why you got kicked out.
GOP Senator Tim Sheehy.
Everybody sit down, please. Sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please.
I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please. Is your hand okay?
Oh, is his hand still in the
This
door?
is disgusting. Disgusting.
Just pull it out.
Oh my God, his hand was still in the door. Oh. Yo, prayers to him and his family. That's so sad. That's so sad. I can't. I can't with some of this stuff. It's just so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. Up. Oh, he covered this today. Hold on. I want to cover my boy Nate. I hope he's still my boy. Let me check the playback speed. We're gonna slow this down. No reason to speed it up too much.
Biggest problems is that his PR campaign is actually run by Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. And we actually have footage of Dan receiving the news last night that he just lost his primary.
Julian. I don't know where I felt like I get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
Oh, that's the intro.
Navy SEAL with an eye patch. Danny and most likely headed to Fox and Friends weekends for his next career, if I had to guess. And I imagine his stock trading investment accounts are not happy about that right now, allegedly. So in this video, we're just going to take a trip down memory lane and check out Dan Crenshaw's highlight reel over the years so we can understand how a Navy SEAL with an eye patch couldn't win a Republican primary in Texas. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Let's jump into this thing and let's say one final goodbye to old Deep Throat Danny. Now, let's kick this whole thing off with one of the biggest political blunders in Dan's career, and that's when he threatened to kill Tucker Carlson on a hot mic.
Have you ever met Tucker?
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him.
Whoa. So it turns out a sitting congressman threatening to kill a journalist did not go over well for Dan politically. But that's not the only threats he's been throwing around lately. We all know what he's been doing to Sean Ryan as well. Remember?
Dan Crenshaw. They are threatening to sue me for defamation because of comments I made on my podcast about a message that he sent me.
Yes, Dan threatening to sue a fellow Navy SEAL did not go over well for Dan in the veteran space or politically.
Yo, that's another thing we got to change in America. We got to change this whole lawfare thing. Everybody just freaking suing each other, like weaponizing lawyers. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
As well. And what was that message that he sent? Because Dan loves to be the king of cringe. Yes, remember this one, King of the Douches? Hey, Sean, you have the ability to contact your fellow team guy if you got a problem with me or have questions about how I'm getting rich. Some of my boys at 6 told me about your indirect swipe at me from the comment you made. It sounds like you have some beliefs that are based on trendy narratives instead of facts. Yes, Dan's boys at 6, and we all know Dan doesn't actually have any boys at 6, but it does lead into one of the other things that everybody knows about old Danny boy, and that is the allegations of having a little too good of stock performance. So as you see here, we've shown this before. Yes, the weighted percentage of change of Congress.
Yo, Nate does his homework. Yo, every time this guy does a video like this, he's always bringing receipts.
Portfolios in 2024. These people are absolutely incredible at stock trading, just destroying the best hedge fund managers and people like even Warren Buffett. So you can see here, wow, pretty amazing statistics. Where's Dan at? In all of Congress, yes, in a ranking of 535 congressmen, Dan came in at number 13, best performing stock traders in Congress. And we all know that's 100% legit. I'm not questioning Dan on his stock performance at all. Yes, the vast majority of global war on terror veteran Navy SEALs are absolutely incredible at stock trading. Everybody knows that. And what else we got? Oh, this was a recent one. Remember this? Yeah, I mean, actually, there's a ton of these now that we look back on them. Yes, this was only a few months ago where, it says here, new infamous rhino suspended by Congress after drunk episode overseas. Yeah, the reporting was that Dan Crenshaw got shit-faced in Mexico and said some off comments to some female coworkers and then was banned from international travel in Congress for 3 months. And that's been one of Dan's biggest problems, is that his PR campaign is actually run by Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. And we actually have footage of Dan receiving the news last night that he just lost his primary.
Julian.
Yo, he's having way too much fun with this.
Don't know where it felt like get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
And what else? Oh, yeah, remember when he made some offhand comments about Jesus Christ on the Jocko podcast, and then a 12-year-old girl called him out on it, and he proceeded to bow up on her like he was going to try to fight her? Well, let's take...
We got Kelly Rabin in the house.
Take a look at that.
The important thing is that we have societal hero archetypes that we look up to. Jesus is a hero archetype. Superman is a hero archetype. Real characters, too.
Shaw said, quote, "The most important thing here is that we have important hero archetypes that we look up to. Jesus is a hero archetype. Superman is a hero archetype. Real characters, too. I could name 1,000. Rosa Parks, Ronald Reagan," end quote. I can't wrap my head around this.
Well, I'll help you. Put a period after the word Jesus and don't question my faith.
Wow.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, let me ask you guys something real quick. Let me ask you guys something like that real quick. Could you guys ever picture me, like, do you think I would ever say that to any of you guys? If you had like some kind of questions, like critique for me, you think I would say put a period after Jesus and don't question my faith? Like, whenever somebody's telling you not to question something, unless it's something like very, very obvious and you're doing it in like a disrespectful manner on purpose, just trying to like be a dick or be a troll and slander the person. But if someone has an honest question about something, especially if someone has something shady going on where it's like, you know, pretty good reason to question them, and they get all defensive and they try to silence you and tell you not to question them, period, like that's a big red flag. That's a big red flag. You know, it's just like Charlie Kirk. What did he say? He said, keep asking questions. You stop asking questions, that's when you lose your country. Keep asking questions. There is nothing wrong with asking questions. You know I say some controversial stuff all the time. I said some controversial stuff tonight. Am I sitting here telling anybody that disagrees with me to get out? Don't question me. Believe what I believe. You know, like that's not the way to be. That like kind of like cult-like mentality where it's like don't question anything. No, we should be questioning things. And when you're honest and you're telling the truth and your intentions are good, you don't mind being questioned. You don't mind being questioned. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't followed too much of the Dan Crenshaw thing. I haven't followed too much with the local politics lately, to be honest. But I think I probably should, especially now seeing like what's gone on with the war. I think that's gonna be like the measuring stick for me. Is the war and their views on geopolitics and foreign interests. Like I think we need real like constitutionalists, America first, people that are going to defend America's interests, and not just the stock market, not just the economy, but the pockets of the American people, the poor, the middle class. They need to be prioritized. Their rights need to be protected. We need to like backpedal a little bit. All this like Oracle, Palantir crap, trying to like turn everything into like a mass surveillance state. Like we need to get rid of that. We need to go back to using cash. I think we need to get I was thinking about it the other day. I think we need to do something to recalibrate the economy to make coins mean something again. Like, wouldn't that be cool? If like, not just like $1, like you could spend $1 and get something, but like if a quarter or a couple of quarters were actually worth something again. I think that that's very meaningful. Instead of just like this digital money that just like they don't even print it anymore. They just like push buttons. They just add zeros. Like, no, I think we need tangible currency. Tangible currency. Even maybe like silver coins. I think that would be good. Like anything is better than what we're doing now. Everything that's going on right now with the economy is just a bubble waiting to pop. And when the bubble pops again, what's going to happen? It's going to be just like 2008. People are not going to be able to afford their homes. You're going to see a lot of foreclosures. You're going to have companies like BlackRock buying up all the homes, and then they're just going to rent them out. And they're going to control the market. And people are going to have these like little tiny apartments, even smaller than what we have now. And that's going to be life. And it's going to be like these little smart cities, and all this like 1984 Brave New World type dystopian nightmare. You know, and it's going to be our reality unless we do something. We're like, that's the trajectory that we're on. This whole one world government, digital currency, one world bank. Like, we don't want none of this. We don't want none of this. It is an attack on our sovereignty. And that's why I think that that is all that matters right now. And you can't convince me otherwise. There's no more distractions. No more distractions. We need to like really focus right now, because if we get distracted, if we fall for this QAnon 2.0 bullshit and all these other distractions that are going on, the fucking halftime show, the devil worshipping Olympics, the whatever's next on the agenda, if we keep falling for it, we're going to lose our rights. We're going to lose our country. We're going to lose our soul. Like, you guys really need to understand this. You know, this is serious. This is as serious as it gets. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to pivot. You know, like, listen, and I'll touch on certain things here. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk about it again or anything, but like, there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. And every day, I feel like people need reminders. Every day, we should be putting our attention and our resources into the real problems and trying to find the solutions. Trying to figure out what we can actually do to right the ship. Trying to come up with a call to action to get other people involved. So that everyone could be a part of this. You know, that's why I put up that email for everybody to email me and contact me. But I don't know. Oh, thanks. Live at noon, live at 5, live at 10. Bases Base, Channel 3. Pastor Pays in the pulpit. Yo, but if I'm going to be going live that much, I need to be going live with you guys or with other people too. I'm not just trying to, you know. I don't know. Notice who's showing up tonight, though. We got some real ones. We may have had some spies, too, from what I understand. I got a couple messages on my phone. But, you know, we give the shout-outs. We keep it moving. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome. It doesn't matter. You can even say that Baze is fake and gay. And guess what? We're not going to delete your comments. We're not going to put you in timeout. I won't. I don't care. Knock yourself out. It's all good. It's all good. This platform is for everybody. Doesn't matter. White, black, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, atheist. It's all good. You guys are all welcome here. Don't worry. More understand the issues. Call them the terrific trio. Yo, it's going to be more than a trio. Trust me. We are going to have a whole squad. This is going to be a movement. This is going to be the real movement. The truther movement. We are going to go for the real stories. Tell the real truth. We're not going to like hoard information. Hide information. Wait till the right time. It's like, no. Like, we get it. We're going to put it out. That's how it should be. Like, it's like, what is everybody waiting for? What is everybody waiting for? It's like the season finale should have been 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, this is like getting crazy now. Like I said, once those files came out, I say it all the time, and I'm sorry if I repeat myself a lot, but like I said, once those files came out, We got to this fork in the road. What do I always say? We are at a fork in the road right now. Everybody in your life, whether you watch them here, it's your teacher, your boss, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father. Every single person in this world is at a fork in the road. And right now, everything people do, everything they say, it all matters. We are at a fork in the road. And right now, everybody is telling you who they are, and you need to listen to them with what they say and what they don't say. And I don't think that statement has ever had any more meaning than it does right now, especially with everything that I've seen and everything that I've heard behind the scenes and everything that's going on across the globe. You know, especially with Eric Doherty trying to tell us that Trump's approval rating is at 98%. Who would have thought? You know, and then I scroll down a little bit and a Marine is getting his hand broken in the door saying that, you know, Americans should not get killed for a foreign nation. But I guess that was just a Democrat hoax. I'm sorry, that's like the third time I say it. Yo, you guys got to forgive me. It's not like I don't got scripts here. Tonight was a nightmare, too. I got my second Red Bull. But yo, thanks, Kelly. I see you guys in the chat. You want to go live? You guys want to start the channel? And I'll switch to my other software and hop on? What was said? Yeah, listen, that's gross, but people are gonna do what they do. You know, it's like don't let stuff upset you. Don't get distracted. There's too many distractions right now. Yo, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the call right now. We'll tell everybody where to go. Hold on. I'm gonna call Danks. I see Kelly responding, so she could tell us what she wants to do. I'm calling Danks on speakerphone too.
Yo.
You are on speakerphone against the microphone. You are live. Are you still in the chat or no?
Yeah, I'm in the chat.
I'm
just fucking walking from the bed right now, but
you don't want to go live? The people want Danks. Come on, you said before that you were trying to time it to take my followers. Now's your chance. I got 60. I got 62 live ones right now.
Send me a link. How are you gonna do it?
You're gonna have to start it. You're gonna have to send me the link. I'm gonna send them to you. Except you got to make me a producer this time so I get the footage. Enough of this bullshit. You're like hoarding the lives, bro. You're hoarding the footages.
All right, give me a minute.
All right. We got to get that invite to Kelly too. You see how transparent I am, guys? Yo, this is why they're not ready for base. They don't want it. They don't want a guy like me in this business. They really don't. They just don't. They don't know. They don't know what the fuck is coming. I'm just telling you right now. They got no idea. They got no idea. Danks is coming. Yeah, that's right, Kelly. You tell him. If he don't do it, then you will. You got 45 minutes? Yo, I didn't even have 45 minutes, but then I found another Red Bull, and I'm like, you know what? I pretty much said most of what I had to say tonight, so. Yo, I love all you guys, too. I just hope you know, I am the real deal. I don't give a fuck. I am who I am. I am never going to change. I appreciate every single one of you. And like I said, if you want to join the team, boom, there you go. And this goes for everybody. You know, even if you don't like me, even if you've been talking a little crap about me lately, you know, I don't hold grudges. I don't hold grudges. Okay? If you don't like me today, but you change your mind tomorrow or down the road and you say, hey, you know what? That Baze, he's not such a bad guy. He's not so fake and gay after all. And you want to give me an email? Knock yourself out. It's all good. Have a conversation. I don't have grudges with anybody. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I have no problem ripping into someone's ass like never before if necessary. I'll just let that be known too. Yeah, the Red Bull is bad for the ticker. It is. Everything's bad for me, though. It's like crazy. Listen, like I said, we are the light. We're not trying to bring anybody down. We're not trying to sink any ships. We're not trying to hold anybody back. A high tide raises all ships. I want America to win. I want all of us to win. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's the community that I'm trying to build. And I am so grateful for every single one of you that wants to be a part of it. I really am. Yo, I have the best community, and I don't care if it doesn't have that many people yet, because we're going to get there. And like I was saying yesterday, if anybody has some spare time and you guys want to help me make the thing grow, listen, don't go around to the other channels spamming Baze is Based in the chat because they think that, well, you know, not spamming, but apparently you even post it will get accused of spam. So we don't want to interrupt anybody's shows. You know, people want to stay in their own lane, do their own thing. That's fine. We got to respect that. I always respected that. I didn't tell anybody to do that. I wasn't like trying to, stir some shit up. But whatever. But there are other ways. If you guys want to help support me, if you see that I'm getting suppressed or that things aren't growing as much as they should, as fast as they should, and you identify that too, we can find another solution. If you want to help build a social media with me and make a fan page or something, whatever, email me. If you got that kind of time, you want to do it, that's great. I'll send you some raw files. No problem. I'll send you a couple of episodes, make some clips, post some stuff, send them, get some more followers. Everybody wins. Community gets a little bigger. We have a little more fun. We make a few more friends. We don't piss anybody off. You guys aren't getting your comments deleted. Everybody wins. Everybody's happy. That's what I'm about. Heaven forbid you say Baze is Based one time. Yo, I'm telling you, I was watching the show. The first time it was said, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I learned my lesson. You had nothing to do with my timeout. Yo, and that's the thing too, because had I been doing some weird shit and like telling you guys shit, then you would know, and you wouldn't be mad. You'd be like, yeah, he probably shouldn't have told us to do that. Look what happens. But you guys took it upon yourselves because you wanted to support me because you see what I'm dealing with here. If we aren't pissing someone off, we aren't going hard enough. Well, Kelly, what does it mean when I'm pissing everybody off? Even the people that I thought liked me. Yo, yeah, Jackie, you know what? You might be spamming a little bit on Candace, but she gets so many comments anyway. I don't think she cares. And I don't think you ever got it deleted or timed out, right? Yo, Mad, you are already good. You're better than ever. What are you talking about? Saying Baze is Based. Yo, actually, you guys want to see something crazy? Hold on, I gotta find it. You guys want to see the most base thing that I've seen all day? Hold on, where is it? Guys, I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second. Oh. We're almost there. It's backwards because they took it in the mirror, I think. I don't know. But let's see. Wait till you guys see this. Sherry, of course you're in the loop. What do you mean? Oh no, what'd I do with it? I have it somewhere. Yo, you want to see what somebody did? That's a real one. That's a real believer. Yo, how crazy is that? I'm glad that I'm inspiring people. That's hard, right? Yo, where the hell is Danks? No, I'm not asking you guys to do that. Don't worry. Listen. Getting a membership is more than enough. Advance with the super. Thank you, buddy. K Breach in the chat. Now that's how you know you made it. that is hard, right? Hold on, I'll pull it up one more time. Well, you guys know the email. I'll get rid of that. But yeah, I saw that and I could not believe it. I was like, holy shit. No, that's not stalking. Don't worry, it's not. Trying to build up the courage to get it on your forehead. What, Inglorious Bastard style? You got the link? All right, B sent the link. I don't know. Yo, is Dank still here? What happened? Are we moving this party? Or do I gotta play more clips? I feel a lot better now. I appreciate you guys spending the time with me. You do the logo from the hoodie? Yeah, that would be good. Join there. All right, guys. I'm going to shut this stream down, and we are going to be back up. We're going to have a group stream in about 5 minutes, so don't worry. All right? I'm not going to do my whole goodbye speech because this is not a goodbye. We're just going to transfer it. I will see you guys in 2 minutes.